Now, just as in any other relationship, we have friendships with our colleagues at work too. The modern term for it is your work spouse. So what is a work spouse? And whilst you give that some thought, let me introduce our first guest, Tato Mabelane. Welcome back to The Love, Tato.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
Tato, there are so many ways we can phrase this, whether it's a work bestie, a work spouse, but can you just break down this concept?
Sure. So work spouse is basically a platonic relationship that one has with a colleague. It is not gender-based. It can be female to female or male to male or female to male. It's basically based on very high levels of disclosure, trust, loyalty, and respect. So that person becomes your support and your go-to to help you navigate, your way around the company. And most companies have actually started using the term and not as work spouse because, that's very suspicious.
It could be tricky. It could get tricky at home.
At home, exactly. So they call it a buddy.
Yeah.
So companies introduce that as part of their induction. When somebody joins a company, they already have in their pre-employment documents that they have appointed them as a buddy, and then that buddy is maybe Zareda, and Zareda will help you find where the bathrooms are, what company policies are, and she can act as your sounding board and things like that. So they're very, very good benefits to have one.
Yeah, I think I've got several work buddies.
Me too. I've got three.
Yeah, and that is the beauty of it because as you've kind of mentioned, these people, these buddies, or I call them work besties, they also help you navigate the workspace.
Of course. And they also help you with with productivity because they've been in the company for longer than you. So if you've got a project, you go to them, they can tell you, okay, follow this step or that step and speak to that person. So it's quicker for you to be productive,
And I want to dive deeper into that values aligning. I mean, the moral support that having a work buddy kind of plays.
So it's mostly people that have the same values that can sort of feed into each other. There's actually a model that I discovered in 2017. It's called basically an emotional tank. So what it looks like, it's basically like a tank like that, and at the top the model says invest. So you invest emotions, and then at the bottom of that tank there's like a tap, and it says withdraw. So with work spouse relationships, because you form such platonic relationships, like you first invest emotions to each other, like helping you navigate the new space, whatever, and then when the person is going through some tough time, they can come to you and actually withdraw. And by that, I mean they can come to you with their problems and go, I've got problems at home, or I've got problems with my department manager. So it's like a proper relationship, intimate, where you have good times and you also have challenging times where you help each other navigate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned just at the top of our conversation, maximizing productivity.
Absolutely.
For someone like me, it could minimize productivity because I'm a yapper, I'm talkative, I'm a chatterbox. I actually might distract you. You might not end up sending that email. But then you actually introduced a flip side that it could potentially maximize your productivity.
Absolutely. Because if you think about it, when you are new, when you are navigating your space, and if you don't have like landmines or like points to go here, then it might take you longer, But if you have a work buddy, you can just ask, and they're like, no, go there, then speak to that one, then you're fine.
Absolutely. I can only imagine the amount of red tape that happens within not only corporate spaces, but I suppose any industry. And you might find yourself going the long way round with solving any type of problem, and they're able to help you. Also, they're able to tell you, avoid this, avoid that. These are some of the hurdles I've experienced, and this is how you can overcome them without having to experience it within yourself. Now, how meaningful do these friendships and work buddy relationships go? Because, as we did say, it could cause some trouble at home.
So I've been in human resources for 17 years, and as there's the office, we sort of, people report everything to our office. We've had instances in my experience where people actually then go the other way and then they actually have an actual relationship, which becomes very tricky to manage because it's like work outputs and then now there's the emotions involved and it doesn't end well.
Yeah.
It never ends well.
So it's extremely advisable to not turn a workplace friendship or buddy into an intimate one, because no one wants to experience a workplace breakup.
No, not a good idea.
We all spend so much time at our place of work, and a work spouse can provide a supportive and fulfilling friendship in the workplace.